Okay. See you soon.
Slacha. 18th of May, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Tichala is you have to do something, you have to leave your paya over from your field for them to cut it.
Yeah, what's this lesson of lo sechaleh?
What is tichala?
Lo sechaleh. Don't I think what it means is like this from lesson of to consume the like klaya means to consume something completely. Don't consume the corner of the whole corner of your field. In other words, leave some of it.
Leave some for paya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're supposed to understand from that pasuk that the mitzvah is already incumbent from the time that it's standing in the field. Because it says, Pa'as sadecha liksor, I guess. So already at the time of the ktsira is the reaping, the cutting of the wheat stalks standing in the field. Already from that time is the mitzvah of payah. Okay.
The mirchu is like smoothing it down. Machlik at the kri, the rechet, you have to like, I guess, the barachik is like smooth it down. It's makes smooth the pile. Is the rechet like with the in the mill? Umiru.
Oh, what's this word rechet?
Rechet.
Machlik esakri barechet. It sounds like the name of the kli that you use to smooth down the kri.
The kri. Umiru, you smooth havi gomar malakto, and the smoothing down that's considered the completion of its work. Lamaisa, that now you have to take meiser out of it after you smooth the pole, not before that. Hilchot, therefore, meiser kol maser rechem, when it says you should all of your tithes, the meiser is all of your tithes, techila first, la'achakach, and afterwards, no tain lo pay, and then you should give the payer of it. Kedei shelo yafsi honey, so that the poor people shouldn't lose. She'ilu hoyo no'nein kodem, if you would give them before you would smooth it down. Afal pi sha'ani mitzaref lakeket, even though the ani mitzaref is like joining the leket. Shicha, Upeya joins together the three things, the leket, the gleanings, the shicha, the forgotten one, and the peya, corner of the field, arbe, a lot. The osa mehem, and he makes from them kri, a pile. Hota min hamaisa, he's potter from doing the maisa, the ani. Shahare hefka, because that's considered hefka. Who? About Aksha, but now Shenit Marach Yad, now that he smoothed it down with his hand, Balabayit Nitchayev Maisa. The Balabayit now, once smooth the pile, is now Chayev to take the Maisa. The Hachiyamim that we say, Nesechet Brachas. Leket Shicha Peya, that Lechet Shicha Peya. So Asan Vigoran that are done in the threshing floor, hukba'u.
They are fixed.
Is fixed up.
Not fixed up, but Begorin she'ason. I think it's a comma after she'ason. Begorin hukva'u. In the time of the Gorin, the threshing floor, they are fixed in regard to their obligation of Meiser. Now, Rashi's making a point over here about the timing of taking the balabais taking the Meiser and his giving of the payah to the ani. We got to understand what the how is it working over here. So again, what Rashi is saying over here, he's right. The first thing he said was that he smooths down the kri. The kri is the pile of the grain after it has been harvested and taken to the threshing floor and made and threshed and now made into they separate. You know, I think the kri is already at the point where it's you got basically the raw kernels separated from the chaff. I think that's at the point that it's a kri sitting there in the kri, and now you're smoothing down the kri. That's called miruach, and that represents gemar malacha. That means that you're finished with your malacha of the grain, and now it becomes chayav in meiser. You have to give the balabais has to give the tithes. So having said that, Rashi says he connects it together with this giving of the payah over here. Hilkach meiser kol masrosov techila. Therefore, says Rashi, the balabais is he should ideally take the tithes first, bi'acharkach nosein lo payah, and only afterwards give the ani the payah. And he should do it in that order, kedei shelo yafsid ani, in order so not to cause a hefsid, a loss to the ani. And then Rashi goes on to explain how is it, what's the difference? How is it working such that that they're related? Says Rashi, the giving of the payah and the taking of the meiser. She'ilu haya nos no kodem meruach. If the balabais gave the payah to the ani before the meruach, before the smoothing out and the gemar malacha of the grains, so then that sounds like that's not going to be so good for the ani. Afal pi sha'ani mitzarif like it shechel payah harbe, ba'ose mehen kri potamina meiser. Even though the ani takes all of these, a lot of these different things that he gets, like a chicken payah, and he puts them all together, and he makes a big pile of his lekach chicken payah. Potamina meiser. That what he gets is going to be exempt from having to give meiser on that, the ani. Shari hefkerhu, because all those things are hefker, and meiser, the obligation to give meiser is only from grains that are not hefker. But says Rashi, aval akshav shenisma reach biyad balabayis. But now After having already given to the ani his payah, if now only afterwards the Balabais is going to do the Gemar Malacha on his grains, part of which he gave already to the ani. If that's going to be done biyad Balabais, this chayav b'maiser. Somehow that it's working, that kri of the ani seems to be going to be chayav and meiser now. So that would be causing a hefsid to the ani to do it in that way, that he's obligated to give meiser. Whereas if it was done in the correct order, it would remain a hefker, and there wouldn't be any need for him to give meiser. The Hachi Amrinan, and we say like this. This is what we say in the Gemora in Brachos, Leket Shechapeya She'osan Ugoron Ukvu. That if it's done in that way, it's fixed. Meaning, I think it's fixed for an obligation of giving meiser. Now, okay. I was trying to find where we just jumped into this Rashi without seeing what does this have to do with our Gemora over here about Shinui being koina or not kona?
Well, it's a question of when you're fixing it up, is making a change over.
Oh boy.
When does that change occur?
It says pay lahafish mina kama. Oh, it's where did we say this? Getting this. In the Gemora, this is the Gemora. It's a bit Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel, that he's the one that Gemora says Rabbi Shmuel Ma'hi Desanya. We got a brisa mitzvah peya lahafrish mina kama. So the mitzvah of peya is fixed from the time of their standing to be reaped. Lo hifrish mina kama, if he did not do so at the time of the kama, mafrish mina omarim. He could still give peya from the after it's gotten reaped, and it's now been put into bundles, and those bundles are bundles of omarim, of sheaves. And then he could give it. Lo hifrish mina omarim, if he doesn't give it at that time when they're sheaves, mafrish mina kri. He can even do from the kri. Ad shalom mercho. As long as the kri has not been, as long as the pile of the grain, after it's been reaped and bundled and now threshed in the threshing floor, and now it's piled up as a pile of threshed grain. Shalom mercho, before he smooths smooths off the top of the pile, because if he's going to do it, if he's going to give the paya to the ani before meruach, then there's going to be a patur in meiser, according to the din hefker, which patters from meiser. But mercho, that's what Rashi's explaining. I'm reading from the Gemora now. If the balabais already smoothed off the top of this pile of threshed grain, ukfarnis chayev b'meiser, now it's already chayev in meiser. See, at that point, now the paya that he's giving now is not going to be exempt from meiser. Yeah, that's basically the point. So you made it that the ani is going to have to do the mitzvah of afrashas meiser with his paya that he's got. That's what Rashi's explaining. And therefore the Brisa says, therefore the Brisa concludes, because of that, so beforehand, the balabais should do meiser. He should smooth out the kri and give the meiser, and only afterwards give from that to the ani his paya. But if after he ground it all up and okay. Oh, so it comes out at the end of the day, if he already ground it up, he did the tochen on the chitim, then he doesn't need to give pay anymore to the ani. He was mavatal the mitzvah. Because now he acquired it with a shinui. He acquired it with a shinu as a result of doing the tochen. The tochen is the tochen. When you grind it up, the grinding up of the wheat kernels into flour. That at that point it would he wouldn't have to he doesn't have to leave anything for the ani because he already acquired it with a shinui. Oh, and now that's what the Tanakama says. But Rabbi Yishmael, who holds that even shinui is not koina, Rabbi Yishmael says af mafrish mina isa, the nothing lo. Even after the balabayas, the farmer, has done tochen and he's ground up and he has made it into kneaded it into a dough. He's kneaded the flour into a dough. He added water, and he can now take paya from this dough and give it to the ani. He has not exempted himself from the mitzvah. He has not acquired it with that shinui that he did in transforming these kernels of wheat into a dough of which is ready to be baked. So that's Rabbi Yishmael. Okay. Oh, so that's the next Rashi. Okay. So Lou, you want to read the next Rashi? Dibra Masil af mafrish min ha'isa.
All right, if I can find it. Af mafrish min ha'isa. Got it. Even if he separates it from what is ha'isa?
The dough.
That's the that's the dough.
Dough. even if he is separated from the dough, Peah im lo nisna kavar ilu. I don't know this abbreviation.
Tanakama.
The Tanakama min ha isa lo de kania bishinui v'hayu mamon she'en lo chovim de ad ha hashta de yesha lav shinui hu de uchal has hava kamo shehaya. Okay, so Peah, which is not resting after the ilu is
The pay which was not given already, it was not already given.
given
Given before.
the by the Tanakama from the Isa is the grain,
The dough.
the dough. Oh, ha'isa, the dough. It is not acquired with a change, and there is money that is not his. In other words, he now has value that doesn't belong to him. He has an obligation that until now, the dough was not changed.
It's not considered a change, the dough. I'm saying that the dough isn't considered a change.
The ochal that it can be eaten. Who it can be eaten like it is. It can be eaten as is.
Ochel, the ochel hu kamo shehaya, because it's food, just like it was before. It's now just been had disha done on it. Disha is the is what they do.
Dish is kneading. Word for
They
dish.
separate the wheat kernels from the chaff.
Dish is not kneading the dough.
No, disha is
Isn't that disha? The dash.
Dish-
The dish.
Dush is before it's made into flour. It's a disha is what the is after the reaping, and they've got this stalk of wheat. They do disha in order to separate the wheat from the chaff, the wheat kernels from the chaff.
That's the winnowing.
That's called winnowing.
Winnowing is when you throw it up in the air and the wind blows away the
Yeah.
wind.
Oh yeah, winnowing is throwing up in the air. Yeah, that's after that. This is yeah, this is before that. Let me just see what let's read this over again. Rashi's explaining according to Rabbi Shmuel, because the Gemora said Mishum Rabbi Shmuel af mafrish mina isa v'nosin lo. even if one did not yet give peya to the ani, and it's already an isa, it's it's already been reaped, it's already been made into flour, it's already been made into a dough. Even at that point, he could take off, he could be mafresh, he could separate the peya that he could have given already at the time that it was still standing in the field, and he could give a portion of peya from the dough, mina isa, benosin lo, and give it to the ani. That's what Rabbi Yishmael holds, and from there we see that Rabbi Yishmael holds that shinui is not koine. So Rashi's explaining over here, af mafrish mina isa. That's Shita's Rabbi Yishmael. So this is a run on Rashi. Af mafrish mina isa. What do you mafrish? Says Rashi, the peya. You're going to be mafrish the peya. Imlo nosna kvar. If you had not given it until that time, you haven't already given it, you could still even give it at the time that it's a dough. The ilu the Tanakama, whereas according to the Tanakama, the first opinion of this brisa, mina isa lo, to give peya from the dough, well, you cannot do that. He already was mavatal the mitzvah of peya. The kanya b'shinui, because the balabayas has already acquired it with a shinui. Bahave mamun she'ein lo toivim. This isa, the peya which is in this isa at this point, the peya which lies in this isa is described by Rashi as being mammon. She'ein lo tovim. It doesn't have anybody who can make a claim to the balabais and say, "Give me my peya." True, he was obligated to give peya, but that was when it was standing in the field, and now it's already made into a dough. He's already acquired the peya inside this dough with the shinui that he's made, and therefore it's regarded as mammon, money that doesn't have a claimant. The ani cannot claim it at this point. And then Rashi brings in this point about the disha. The adhash that until now, disha lab shinuyhu. This that he did disha on the wheat stock is not regarded as a shinui. Not regarded as a shinui. Why? The ochel haya kamosha, the ochelhu kamosha haya, because even after the disha is done to the wheat stock, it's now before it was a wheat stalk that was a combination of the wheat kernel and the chaff. It was all together in the stalk, and when he does disha and he separates the chaff from the wheat kernel, the actual food that he wants, that's not regarded as a shinui, says Rashi, according to Rabbi Yishmael. The ochelhu, the Moshe Haya, because it's ochel now, just a lot like it was before. But the only difference is that you've successfully separated the non-edible parts from the edible part. But that's not regarded as a shinui, according to Rabbi Yishmael. It was ochel before. It was regarded as ochel, regarded as food before, and it's regarded as food afterwards as well. It's the same thing. There's no shinui. Okay.
So it means if there's a reversion to what it was before, then there's no, even though there might have been a shinui in between, it's no longer a shinui. I'm not sure. I don't know about an example, but theoretically, if you make a difference, say it's food, then you make a difference and it's not food anymore for some reason, then you make it into food again, then there's no shinui. It's been cancelled.
According to Rabbi Yishmael,
Difficult with food, but with something else it might be. So with I have a plank of wood, and I make it into a chair. That's a shinui, and then I make it back in. Oh yes, that's right. We said that, didn't we? And I disassemble the chair, and it's a plank again. So there's no change. It's back to where it was, despite, and has the same qualities, despite it being a change in between. We said that was that it can be changed. If it can be changed back, then it's not a shinui.
Right. That was we had a machlokes about that. We said that if it could be changed back into it, like a garment, like we said, if the Ganav, he stole the wool and he weaved it into a garment, so we said, oh well, that's a shinui midrabanan. It's not as big of a shinui as if he had stole a log of wood and planed it into a board or a plank. Because what's the difference? Because a garment is simply somebody who some lady did all the what do you call it, the weaving, and she weaved this wool into a garment. So all you have to do is pull out the thing, and you got all the
wool back. But what bothers me about that is that when it reverts, it's not exactly the same as it was to start off with, because with the case of a garment, the threads would have been the wool would have been cut here and there. It would have been altered in some ways that couldn't be strictly the same as before. And the same with a plank of wood made into a chair. It will have holes in it. It may be cut to accommodate fitting pieces together, and that can't be, strictly speaking, made back into a plank. It can be almost the same, but not really. I mean, you won't have the same length of wool. The wool would be cut into different lengths, for example, when it's or the cotton when it's made into a garment.
So I guess we have to say in that case that that difference that there is between the wool after the garment has been undone and now it's just wool, the difference between the wool that it is now and the wool that it is before is not a significant enough of a difference to say that it's certainly a less significant difference than the difference between taking a log of wood and planing it down into a board.
Right.
So that's that. So we were talking over there about different levels of shinui, a deraisa mandated level of shinui and a drabanan mandated level of shinui. Over here, what we're saying is that according to Rabbi Yishmael is saying that even from the time that it's an isa, even from the time that it's a dough, this wheat has been the wheat stalk has been reaped, and it's been threshed, and it's been made into flour, and it's been made into a dough. All of that, Rabbi Yishmael nevertheless still says that. See, the language of Rabbi Yishmael is that the way that we are saying is that he simply says, he doesn't say that it's not a shinui. He says shinui is not koine, even though it is a shinui. He doesn't deny that it's a shinui. He just says shinui is not koine. Shinui is not koine.
So in other words, the dough is changed according to.
Yeah, we don't need to say according to Rabbi Shol, it's not a change. We would have to really understand why it is that Rabbi Yishmael holds that shinui is not koine, but he's not saying that when you make it into a dough, it's still the same thing that it was before when it was a wheat stalk sitting in the field. It's just that this Rashi over here. See, Rashi over here in this Rashi that we just read, Rashi is contrasting the opinions of the Tanakama in the Brisa and Rabbi Yishmael. If we take a look again in the Brisa, what did the at what point did the Tanakama say that the balabais, the farmer that owns and reaps the wheat over here, at what point is he no longer able to do the mitzvah? He doesn't need to do the mitzvah of he doesn't have a mitzvah of payah anymore. So he said, what did he say? He said, Mafrish mina kri ad shelo mercho. See, this is what I think this is why Rashi is picking up on the matter of disha, of the separating of the that could be at that point that he's saying that according to the Tanakama, even only at the point that it's an Isa. One second, I'm sorry, one second. To tell you the truth, it needs a bit of analysis to understand where the Rashi sees, according to the Tanakama of this Brisa, at what point is he no longer obligated to give payah to the ani. Rashi says it's not so clear from the words of the Tanakama, at least not so clear to me right now, reading it only one time through. But Rashi is discussing the Tanakama over here in this Rashi. He says ve'ilu Tanakama, whereas according to the Tanakama, mina isa lo. At the point that it's an isa, at the point that this is a dough, he's made it into a dough. Lo, he's no longer required to give payah from the dough. Rabbi Yishmael says yes. He's even from the dough. He's required to give payah to the ani. But according to the Tanakama, at the point that it's a dough, and he doesn't have to, he's not obligated in pay anymore. Dekanya b'shinui, he's already acquired it with a shinui. V'havi mammon shein lo tovim, it's regarded as mammon because of the fact that he has acquired it with a shinui, the anim don't have a claim on this dough anymore. They can't come and say, give us the paya from this isa, from this dough. And Rashi explains because the ad hashta, because until now the disha separating the chaff from the wheat kernels, says Rashi, that's the disha lav shinui hui. He's saying that according to Tanakama. According to Tanakama, it has not yet become, only at the point that it becomes a dough, it seems, according to Tanakama, and it's after he grinds up the kernels and makes the flour and then makes that kneads it into a dough. Only at that point he doesn't have to give any more. But Rashi says even after the time of disha, that he separated the wheat kernels from the chaff, it's not considered to be a shinui at that point, according to the Tanakama, who holds that shinui is kona. But that's not a shinui. Why? And Rashi says because it's the ochelhu kemosha haya. Because even after he's done the disha and he's now got the raw kernels separated from the chaff as a result of the threshing, that is still not regarded as a shinui according to Tanakama, such that the farmer would have acquired it with a shinui and no longer have to give to the ani any paya. That's what Rashi's explaining over there. Baruch Hashem, we got it. Okay, it's 12:32. And since we got it, now we got to go.
Be well. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to have to be with Lag Boma. I'm going to be with the grandkids.
Lag BaOmer. Okay.
All right. Are we having classes on Lag BaOmer?
Of course.
All right.
Why not? What do you think Reb Shimon did on Lag BaOmer?
I don't know. Lit a bonfire.
Made a bonfire.
And roasted
Marshmallows. Yes.
marshmallows.
Surely. So, okay. Everybody does what they have to do. So everybody that has to do this, they do that. Everybody that does that, that. But whoever has time to learn, we're gonna be here.
Okay.
I have to be here.
Everybody enjoy their Lag BaOmer.
Thank you.
We'll see you later, right?
Yeah,
All the best.
We'll
Yeah,
see you.
I'll see you at
Yeah.
5:04.
I hope to be around. I'm not too sure. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. Bye.
Alan?
You don't have to be embarrassed to go to a picnic, and you don't also not have to be embarrassed to learn. Don't be embarrassed.
I'm not. I just don't know what.
Everything is good.
I'm not too sure what I'm doing. That's all. Okay.
Just
anyway,
do it.
bye for now.
Oh,
Don't be
L'Shem
embarrassed that
Shamayim
you're
for
not
Reb
so
Shimon.
sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll see you.
Good day.
See you,